Hey guys, Brockett here. Been a while, but I'm coming at you with a Digimon deck profile. Started playing Digimon here. Haven't really got to do much yet. It's coming at a weird time. BT4 format is just ending. We're going into BT5. So I'd like to show you what I played in BT4 and what changes I plan to make. This is going to be for a green OTK deck is what I played in BT4. It kind of changes up a little bit in BT5. But either way, it's a Digi-Burst deck. So let's jump right into it. Bringing you the deck right here. So this version of the deck, it is an OTK deck, but I play it a lot more defensively because I like to kind of just sit on blockers and stall until I have the OTK ready to go, and then just try to win all in one turn. So for that, since it's going to be kind of defensive the first part of the game, we're playing 4 Argomon. Argomon is really good because when you unsuspend in your unsuspend phase, he gains an extra memory, so that gives us more resources to go off on the turn when we're ready to go off. We do play 1 Minomon as our other Babymon, because the plus 1000 when you attack over a Digimon is really good. Green likes to sometimes attack over your opponent's Digimon because they can suspend them and get them where they can attack them when they want to, so it's good to have one. Doesn't usually ever happen because this is a heavy Digi-Burst deck. We usually Digi-Burst all our material, so no point in really having this effect if we're just going to Digi-Burst it away. I'd rather just have this effect during the first part of the game when we're playing more defensive. So that's my reasoning for there. You could probably even drop this out for a more consistent Argomon. But like I said, it comes in to play sometimes. We got 1 Lalamon here. Lalamon, it's a card I definitely like having. It just doesn't really do much. Originally I had it at 3, dropped it to 2. It just doesn't really do much. I know a lot of people have been saying that, but it's good because you can reuse it. So as long as you get it to reuse it once, you can evolve on him, get another draw. And we just need more Digi-Burst effects, really. So we're going to Digi-Burst all our stuff away, so he adds himself back to the hand after you Digi-Burst, which seems really good. It's like, oh, you have a bunch of these, and you have unlimited resources, but you don't really need him. But it's good to have. I definitely want to keep him around, because I definitely like getting him back when I do. I just don't like having multiples in my hand. They just seem useless, but it's good to have one. Here's the main card of the deck right here is Palmon. You want to play 4 of these promo Palmons. This is our MVP. When you Digi-Burst this card off of your Digimon, it gives your Digimon jamming. Jamming means when you attack into security, if you would otherwise lose that security check versus a Digimon, you just ignore it and you delete all the security. It's really good. It just, if you hit an option, the option will still go off. But other than that, jamming is super good, super powerful. And that's where the OTK comes into play, because we can pretty much get a big security check, get all 5 security in one turn with jamming, so really good. Tentomon is kind of our pseudo draw power. I was playing 3, slimmed him down to, or I was playing 4, slimmed him down to 3, because you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's green, add it to your hand. Pretty much every card in our deck is green, so it'll probably hit. There's a few cards that won't, occasionally miss. But you'll usually just evolve into him and draw anyway. If you need to choke your opponent's memory, that's where you would play him for 3. So you can, like if you have 2 memory, you play him. Your opponent has 1 memory on their turn. Really good. So the other Digimon we do that with is Terriermon. Choke our opponent by playing him for only 3, and then our opponent also can't gain memory except with Tamers. So that turns off any Hammer Sparks versus blue. Coming up in the next format, I think there'll probably be other cards that this will turn off as well. So really good to have Terriermon. Definitely, since I'm playing a more defensive deck, having a Terriermon to just sit out there and, kind of just piss your opponent off and they want to take him out because they can't gain memory is really fun. Really good. We're playing 4 of the 2-cost 3Ks. I like Gobumon probably, or Goblymon better. The other Argomon is the exact same card. Just playing 1 of him, just have variety. I don't know, just really good. The main reason you play him is 2 to play. So usually you'll play him and then use him to Digizorb is our other mechanic in green. So we suspend him to make our evolution into our bigger Digimon for free with Digizorb. Really good. You can suspend anything with Digizorb, but it's best to have these 2 costs to do that because they're the most efficient. So really good, and he can just kind of come out and get some extra attacks. You may need that final attack to win the game, and that's what he'll come into play. Vegemon kind of the same thing. He's 4 to play, 6k. Bring him out, just a extra beater. But main reason Vegemon's good, he's a 1 to evolve with 6k. Really, really strong. I was playing 4, but then I went and switched to this more defensive version of the build. Really good. So we're maxing out on blockers here. We got the 4 Kabuterimons, 1 cost to evolve, blocker, amazing card. Really, really good. And we also got 4 Woodmon. Like I said, we're heavy on the blockers. 2 to evolve, blocker, 6k, so he's a little stronger. Only 5 to play if you need to just put him down to have a blocker. It's a really efficient play to do that. And then Cherrymon. We're only doing 3 Cherrymon. I was maxing him out, but I decided to keep a Lilymon in because Lilymon's really good. We'll talk about her in a minute when we get to the Digi-Bursters. But Cherrymon is our 7k level 5 blocker, and he does not have that negative effect of when you attack you lose memory, so he's really good. 2 cost. These are our Digizorbs. They're 3 to evolve, but Digisorption basically makes them free to evolve. You just suspend or tap one of your other Digimon to evolve into him, make it free. That's really good with our 2 costs to play, since they would normally be 3, basically saving you 1 memory if you really think about it, because you're going to have to pay for whatever you suspend anyway. So it's the most efficient way to do that. But yeah, just when you're ready to win the game that turn, suspend whatever you got, suspend one of your blockers, evolve into this, you're good to go. You're going to go for game that turn. But we do keep 1 Lilymon in the deck. Lilymon's really good to just have. If you use the Digi-Burst to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, you're not going to be able to do your big Digi-Burst, which is going to require you to pretty much Digi-Burst a full stack. Since you Digi-Bursted with Lilymon, that's where it's good to have the 1 Minomon, because you'll get to the little 1000 boost to try to attack over something. Really good to have. I usually sit on it in your raising area, which kind of tells your opponent, it's like, hey, you put something out there, I'm just going to suspend it. So really good. For our Megas, we're doing 2 Nidhogg, 4 Grand Quagamon, 3 Chaosmon. I feel like this is pretty much the standard way to play green in BT4. Nidhoggmon is so good, you could play it at 3. It's just really expensive. But when you play Nidhoggmon, it pretty much turns the board in your favor no matter what. So it's so fun to play. I love this card. When it comes out, it pretty much can wipe your opponent's whole board. So what it does is suspend all your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less, and then all your opponent's suspended Digimon go to the bottom of their deck, trashing anything that was under their evolution source. It's 4 to Digi-Burst, which is a full stack pretty much. That's what I was saying. You're going to need a full stack because Grand Quagamon kind of works the same way. It's Digi-Burst 2, but you can use its effect twice in 1 turn because you're going to go for an OTK, so you want to maximize your damage is basically what this guy does. Gives you security attack +1. Use it twice. Swing with him. That's 3 security checks. If you have 2 of them out, then you can easily clear all 5 of your opponent's securities with just 1 Digimon attack. And if you don't, you can Digivolve him up to Chaosmon, which after he attacks, he'll be suspended, but you evolve to Chaosmon, he unsuspends, and then he gets 1 free attack. He's basically Blitz Digimon before Blitz Digimon was a thing, and he has piercing, and he can attack an unsuspended Digimon when you use this Digivolve effect. Really super strong, especially if you have all those security increase attacks. So basically you attack with this for 3 security, Digivolve, swing into a Digimon with piercing, get the remaining security all in 1 turn right there. All you need is one more Digimon to attack. This guy's really expensive. Like I said, he was Blitz before Blitz, because if you play him, you're probably going to end your turn. Unless you play Hidden Potential Discovered, which is amazing. There's a reason why it's limited to one. Basically, yes, you can use this on like your level 6 to reduce the Digivolve cost to him to 1. Really good. You can also make Nidhoggmon free to play by reducing it by 5 is what that does. It kind of has a Digisorption effect. So you would suspend one of your lesser Digimon to evolve into your bigger Digimon for free. Really super good. Needle Spray, best option Hard Green has, in my opinion. It is way better than Flower Cannon. Like, I don't care what you say. I love Needle Spray. It's way better. Sure, Flower Cannon can give you that crazy situation where you can Nidhogg your opponent's whole board, but Flower Cannon really just says, or it really helps. It helps prevents you from losing, but what Needle Spray does is gives you the opportunity to win. So it gets its main effect in the security, and it adds it to the hand, so you can just hold on to it and save it for when you're going to OTK. And that's what this deck is all focused on. With all these blockers, we're going to play one Joe, because 11 blockers in the deck, he's pretty much always going to be alive. It's just 2 to play, and you get 1 memory every turn. An extra memory really helps, especially get this out early, and then you get to OTK earlier, because you need a lot of memory to go off. Really, the deck is cheap and efficient. Like, evolve really cheaply for free. But once you want to go into your big play with Chaosmon or Grand Quagamon, that's when you got to pay for a bunch of cards in one turn. Technically, you could sit on a Grand Quagamon in your raising area and then raise one on the field naturally, and because you could also win the game with just 2 Grand Quagamons, not even needing the Chaosmon, so you could do it that way too. Yeah, like have a Grand Quagamon in your raising area and then evolve another one on top of like a Cherrymon or something. And then Digi-Burst both of them and get all your max security in one swing, and then attack for game also with like the Gabumon or Vegemon or whatever you need. Mimi, also really good. It's our memory fixture, but it's so much more than that. This could be our extra attack to finish the game. Like I said, we can clear the security stack really easy with our OTK, but getting the final attack is where we kind of struggle. So if you have a level 5 green Digimon, which will probably be our Grand Quagamon, then we suspend this, bring a Digimon out of the raising area during our main phase, which gives us an extra attack. Really, really good. But mainly it's here for the memory fix, to give us at least 3 memory. This plus Joe means we'll start our turn with 4 memory. If we also have the Argomon, then we have 5 memory. We could straight up pay for a Nidhoggmon and it'd still be our turn. Really good. Other than that, that's what I was playing in this version of the deck. Let's take a look and see what I'll do in BT5. It's still Digi-Burst focused, not much changes. I still think being defensive Argomon is good, but I really want to try the new Yokomon out. Especially since this deck is more control focused, so beating over our opponent's Digimon is really good. And since we Digi-Burst everything away, like I said, the problem with Minomon is he's good to help beat over our opponent's Digimon, but we're just going to Digi-Burst them away, and then we don't have anything. With this, you get the 2k. It's 2k instead of 1k, so he's even better. Yeah, Yokomon's good, so you can beat over your opponent's Digimon after you Digi-Burst. Really good. Keeping the one Lalamon, same reasons. Palmon, still MVP. Then we get the new Palmon, which what this does, it basically lets us recycle our jamming Palmon, so we can get an extra Digi-Burst in that turn. We swing with this, and if it gets deleted versus the security or blocked or just however it gets deleted, we place one Tralmon or Palmon from our trash under one green Digimon at the bottom of its Digivolution cards, which is really good. So we get the Palmon with that can give jamming. Put it under one of our Digimon. We're playing the new Raphaelmon, so it's really good with that because it's really cheap to Digi-Burst into, and you're pretty much always going to be able to trigger jamming if you do that. We'll get into that in a minute. The rest of the deck is still pretty much the same. Everything's the same. We slimmed a lot down to make room for new stuff. So one less Tentomon. Of course, you can kind of play around with the Tentomon and Terriermon 3 cost, however you want to do it. We slimmed the Goblimon down to just 3 instead of 4. Slimmed the Vegemon down to fit the Weedmon in. 4 Weedmon, he's so good. Like when you Digi-Burst him, you gain 1 memory. We didn't have any level 4 Digi-Burst effects, but now we do, and it's amazing. Gain a memory. Like I said, extending those plays is really important in green. So Weedmon I see is going to be really good with the 4 to play, 1 to evolve. Same as Vegemon, he's just a lot weaker, but it's okay because he's just going to be a material that we Digi-Burst. Really good. We still have pretty heavy on the blockers. Same ratios except for the Woodmon, we cut in half. No pun intended there. But yeah, we cut back on the Woodmon. Same, maxing out on all of our Digisorption engine. That's why we need to keep some Goblimons in there, so we can do that, or Goblimons. We went to 2 Lilimon. Increased it from 1. I think we could probably take a Cherrymon out if we wanted to play 3, but I don't think we need that. If we were playing the new Rosemon, we would want to do that because Lilimon and Rosemon work really good, especially with Raphaelmon, which I'll go over in a minute, but let's take a look at the Rosemon. Rosemon is kind of like a gimmicky Grand Quagamon, where instead of focusing one Digimon to get all your Security Plus, it just gives Security Plus to all your Digibursts. So you gotta go wide, basically. Play a bunch of Digibursts, like Lilimon is really good with this. Have a bunch of Lilimons out in a Rosemon. But you just gotta invest too many resources into getting that type of combo off, so I decided not to play the new Rosemon as much as I wanted to. It's really good with the Raphaelmon since it's Digi-Burst 3 to activate that effect. Then evolve it into Raphaelmon, then you can Digi-Burst again, get all these extra effects, but nah. I just didn't think it was as good. So instead, well, let's go over Raphaelmon first. So Digi-Burst 2 powers up all your Digimon by 2. This is really good. You could do this twice to power this up to 15k. Just do it once, get your Nidhogg to 15, twice 17. You could potentially do this a 3rd time too, because you can Digivolve this on top of a level 6, including itself, for just 1. So a 1 to evolve level 6. Wow, draw a card that late in the game while evolving, getting more Digiburst. This is where that Palmon's also really good, because if you get that extra extra material under this, then you can Digiburst again. So you could technically Digiburst 3 times with this if you do it twice normally, evolve on top of it, crash the new Palomon, get another Palmon under there, get your jamming back, do it a 3rd time. That's plus 6,000. Wow, you can just beat over everything, and you have jamming anyway, so you're just gonna win. Wow, it's pretty crazy. Its other effect is also really good. It's it kind of helps, like what I was saying. The deck is changing. It changes the deck to more of a control deck than an OTK deck. So what it does is it makes one of your opponent's Digimon they can't attack or block to the end of the turn. This still kind of helps with OTK because it neutralizes a blocker, which is really good. But at the same time, you can also use it to just make it so your opponent can't attack you next turn. So you can just keep building up. Technically, you could play this at 3 and then just pick what you like here. If you want to keep the Grand Quagamon strategy, play this at 3, drop the Mega Garga out. But I really like the Mega Garga. This is kind of my test version of the build right now, so I'm trying to decide how I want to play this, but I think Mega Gargamon is going to make a comeback in BT5, like big time. He's just so good. He does everything you want. The only thing is he's a little more expensive to evolve into, but that's okay. So when you evolve into him, you suspend a Digimon on your opponent's side of the field, and it doesn't unsuspend in their unsuspend phase. And when your opponent has a suspended Digimon, he gets the security attack +1. So if you have him out and a Grand Quagamon and you give the security to him with the jamming and everything, then wow, he can check 4 security cards. Really good. And then you can evolve him into Chaosmon, win the game, or you could even evolve him into Rapheliumon, because he doesn't have Digi-Burst, so he'll have all that material under him. That you can just evolve him after he's been useful and done his job. Then Rapheliumon just lay on top of him. Digi-Burst, power all your Digimon up, make it so your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block, win the game. Really good, really good. Grand Quagamon, I think just having one of is actually what you'll want with the control version, because you're not trying to OTK in this, you're trying to control, but having the option to just pop off one turn and pretty much clear all your opponent's security just out of nowhere is really good. So that's why I'm trying it like this right now. I'd like to maybe even play more him, but he's too expensive, so that's why I'm trying it like this. We just don't have room for 3 Nidhoggmon. This deck is more control focused, so 3 Nidhoggmon would be great, but 2 seems to be perfect. It worked last format, it'll work this format. 3 Chaosmon, but we're trying 1 of this run instead. This one is really good for that final attack, like I said, but the more control focused, I think being able to do the activate the evolving effect twice, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7 KDP. So this can delete a big boy or reduce 2 little boys and delete them. Or you could reduce 2 big boys and then Nidhogg them or attack over them with Rapheliumon. You're going to be able to power up so big you can beat over anything anyway. So if by some chance you needed to just reduce something down to beat over it, yeah, it's really good. This is where the main change I want to make to this is I want to fit more needle spray in. Like, I had to slim it down to 1 and it just doesn't feel right. I need at least 1 more needle spray. I just don't know what to take out yet. Still the same hidden potentials is super important to me. So everything else about the deck is pretty much the same. Yeah, so what do you guys think about my BT5 thoughts on Digi-Burst? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think I could do to fit another needle spray in? I'd love to hear your feedback. Or if you think this deck looks good, let me know. I do plan to make more Digimon deck profiles. I have another version of green because I know not everyone has the promo Palamons. So I actually did make a green deck that doesn't have Digi-Burst at all, just because I like the green decks in general. I'll make a deck profile and show that one off. It's a little spicy, so I think you'll enjoy that. The other deck I've been playing is Imperial Dramon, so I'll probably make a deck profile on that. So stay tuned. Check in for that. If I have those decks up, I'll put them in the in card right here. Other than that, I've been Brockett. You guys take care. All right, peace.